We are the Other People Show. I'm glad to be with you on this Friday, September 15th, 2023, 11:06 p.m. And I really do hope that you all enjoyed the show previously. Real talk. Anthony is at a gig tonight, so we pre-recorded that a couple nights ago. Please go check out that movie if you like kind of serious Adam Sandler movie. Or you like the quirkiness, the weird oddness of a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I would highly recommend. At a slim 96 minutes, it's not going to take up a lot of your time. So yeah, I was really unsure if I was going to do a show tonight. I mean, we have an array, we have a good catalog of shows that we could have plugged in tonight. But I decided that yes, I'm going to go down and I'm going to try to entertain the audience to the best of my abilities by myself. So I'm going to try to do that. As always, please go to our social media pages. That are the Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, and Instagram. Highly appreciated, greatly appreciated, and you deserve a cookie. If you want to give a thumb up on the live stream, I will personally buy you a cookie of choice. It could be from Subway. It could be from Jersey Mike's. I'm not really sure other places around that serve cookies because I've cut off cookies from my diet. That's one thing I'm talking about tonight. I've been on a diet, and the diet is the diet of sadness. And that's a great if you want and I'm not saying that I would wish it on anyone, but if you do want a quick, and I won't say easy or pain-free, but if you want a quick and unhealthy way to lose weight, it's to be heartbroken. So I wouldn't recommend it, but if you have to slim down for that role that you're trying to get into, trying to win over, or you want to get into those jeans just to make yourself feel better, then that is the way to go. I don't recommend it. I don't condone it, but that is probably the way to go. I'm just kidding you. I'm just rambling. But we are the Other People Show tonight. Tomorrow at Black Bear Barbecue, there's going to be Broken Sound is going to be playing there. I think 6 to 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go down and try to check Broken Sound out. We had Andy in the studio a few weeks back. And then a week or two later, he played the Vibe Festival that took place around Good Times in the town of Big Stone Gap. That was a good time. It was a good time. I didn't tell this before because I didn't want to bring the show down, but this will be kind of a downtrodden show. So if you don't want that kind of a show, then this is where you tune out. Now, do I want you to tune out? No, I don't want you to tune out at all. I'm just saying, if you expect, the greatness of Anthony and then just myself, then you're just going to get myself. But that, I'm telling you up front, it's 4 minutes in, so therefore you've been warned. And I do have, I don't want to say it's fan mail because it's not really fan mail, but I think it's we're going to call it the mailbag, the Other People Show mailbag. We'll get into that in just a moment. But yeah, we're going to have a kind of a chill show tonight in the way that it's going to be a little bit on the morose, on the low key side. It's 11:10, so everyone should be, hopefully cozy in their bed. They could be driving around. And speaking of cozy in the bed, that is one thing that I do miss. I do miss cuddling up to someone in the bed. Now typically, I do watch the movies that we do for Real Talk, but I used to be someone that every night would try to watch a movie, or when I was with a loved one, a loved girlfriend or whatnot. I don't know why I said whatnot, but that's like a little trinket or something, isn't it? But anyway, cuddled up, nestled closely, snuggled together, to the point of, if the TV's on the left side, your left arm is going to be falling asleep, but it's worth it. That kind of a cuddle and nestle together, watching. It could be anything. It could be. There's this one series. It's called Creep and Creep 2. It was chosen one night, maybe. I don't know, maybe 8 months ago or so, back in the fall, maybe. And it is Mark Duplass. He's an independent film producer and director and actor and writer. It comes to be. But he has made this little series called Creep and Creep 2. So I would really suggest that, actually. Now, it's not going to blow you away, but he is a creep of a person in these films. And I wonder, is he really like that in real life? I don't know. Mark Duplass, Creep and Creep 2. And that is a good movie to lay there and nestle and cuddle with. And now it's getting to the weather where cuddling, I don't want to say it's a must, but it's almost a must, because the weather is getting to the point now where it's getting cool at night. You can cuddle and stuff throughout the night with the cool weather. Leave the window open just a little bit so that cool breeze can come in. It's 11:11, make a wish. And, and then when you wake up in the morning, it's still that coolness, and you're not sweating or stuck together as often happens in the summer weather. So, that being said, I do want to do a little segment that we got, that we've come up with. And it's kind of like, I guess, I wish I really had some kind of a theme song for this, because I think it would be a very fitting thing to have, like a little theme song for this. But we occasionally get emails. Sometimes there's comments, and I try to always answer those back. And I know Anthony's busy with a lot of his stuff as well, so we always try to get back. But we're going to start reading some of the fan mail or the audience mail over the air. So we'll call this the Daily Mail, as inspired by the Radiohead song. Here's the first one we get. Well, the only one this week. Dear the other people, I've heard over the last few shows how Adam has seemed to be in heartbreak mode. Anthony seems so chill and calm. Is this planned or scripted? Or is this just naturally yourselves and how things are happening in your lives? There's no name attached to it. So, I guess to answer the first part of the question, I've heard you over the last few shows how Adam has seemed to be in heartbreak mode. I mean, I don't think that's been hidden. I don't think that's been hidden at all. So, yeah, you're correct in that assumption. What more can you do? I'm going to continue to do the show. I'm not going to let my personal life debilitate the show, and that's how you all need to be with things that are trying to bring you down, or not even trying to bring you down, but things when these obstacles get in your way, you have to try to plow through them. Because did I want to come on and do the show tonight? To be honest with you, no. I've not wanted to come on and do the show in quite some time. And it's a joy that's somewhat been taken away. But I'm not blaming the takeaway. No one took it away from me but my own actions. And the heartbreak from that is wanting me just to be stuck down and do nothing. And that's not really the producers being funny. But yeah, So it doesn't have to be heartbreak. It could be anything that you're going through. You can actually pick yourself up, make yourself do it, and you can get through. And that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, I have been. I've been in heartbreak mode. Anthony seems so chill and calm. I can't speak for Anthony, but I can only tell you what I gather from Anthony. He's one of the most respectful people that I've ever met. He's a talented musician. He's a stand-up guy. He's a hard worker, and he does have this serene, calm, Buddhist-esque kind of vibe about him. So I'll ask him when he comes in next week. But yeah, he's a chill guy and calm, and I could learn a lot. I really could. And then they say, is this planned or scripted, or is it just naturally yourselves? No. There's a few things scripted in the show on occasion, but not to the point where we're, bringing our lives into the show, trying to make it theater of the mind, so to speak. Although it kind of is theater of the mind. So, if you want to message, you could message us on the Other People Show on Facebook, or if you want to email a question, you can do that at virginiarunning@gmail.com. All right, enough John Mayer. I'm not against John Mayer or anything like that, but I mean, we don't need that really play, do we? So we're going to play a couple songs tonight. These songs might not be songs some you may have heard before. Some are older songs, some are more recent songs, but they all have a theme throughout the songs that I'm going to be playing tonight. And the first one is no exception. So the first one is going to be Hands Down. And if you know Hands Down, I used to always, and I'm going to put myself out there, I used to always cry, and I still have, at certain times at this particular point in the song. And I really don't know the origin of it, just that I can feel what he's saying and how much that I want that. So this is Dashboard Confessional with Hands Down on 92.5 The Vault.
Breathe in for luck, breathe in so deep. This air is blessed, you share with me. This night is wild, so calm and dull. These hearts, they race from self-control. Your legs are smooth as they graze mine. We're doing nothing at all. My arms are so high that your kiss might kill me. So won't you kill me? So I die happy. My heart is yours to feel a burst, to break the berry. Where is jewelry? Whichever you prefer. The words are hushed, let's not get busted. Just lay entwined here, undiscovered. Safe here from all the stupid questions. Hey, did you get some? Man, that is so dumb. Stay quiet, stay near, stay close, they can't hear, so we can get some. My hopes are so high that your kiss might kill me. So won't you kill me? So I die happy. My heart is yours to feel the rest, to break a berry. Where is jewelry? Whichever you prefer. Hands down, this is the best thing I can ever remember. Always remember. you meant it, that you meant it.
And that was Dashboard Confessional, hands down, from an album. I guess back in the I guess it was the early 2000s. So yeah, thank you for tuning in and listening on 92.5 WLSD The Vault. Also AM 1220, and you can listen online. And we're streaming at so many places. So just look up the Other People's Show, WLSD, and check us out. So thank you very much. Now, I do have a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about tonight, but a lot of them are they're just segments. So I can't really do segment after segment after segment after segment. I have to have some meat on the bone, other than just side dishes. I mean, I guess you could just continuously eat the baked potato or the mashed potatoes or the green beans or the broccoli. That's one of the things I actually had on the list. I had food because I started off the show talking about, how really not to try to lose weight. But what I have been doing, and this would be a fun little thing if people want to join along. If not, then that's fine too. So I have been going to, the last couple of Sundays. I've been going up to Reno's after work, going up there, getting a couple of drinks. Well, not getting a couple of drinks, but going up there, outside while it's still warm. I usually drink water. You can kind of hear it, but going up there and just kind of chilling out and talking. So if anyone wants to join, you can do that. I'm always alone, so you can see me there as the lonely one sitting there. No, it's more of a choice, I think. Plus, I'm working on the show, so that's a good place to kind of like be chill, tranquil, work on the show. But I have noticed since the especially over the last 8 weeks tonight and counting. 8 weeks tonight. We've got 8 on there. I've not eaten very well, slept very well, no matter anything that I can do. And I typically don't eat much fast food. But lately, I have been eating more Pals, and I have been eating. I did have a pizza in the reheated air fryer pizza today, so that's been fine and dandy. But it's been giving me some heartburn, which I'm not liking. And maybe it's since I'm getting older. I don't know. Maybe that could be the problem. But I'm going to, I think, start cutting down on, some of the spicy things or more spicy tomato-ish things. Not that tomato sauce is spicy. So I guess it can be. But, a lot of the sauces and things like that, maybe that's the problem. So I'm going to try to give that some heavy consideration, cutting back on those type of things. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot of good variety. I'm going to go down, like I said, I'm going to go down tomorrow to Black Bear and check that out. Check Broken Sound out. I saw them at a Vibe, but I haven't seen Andy solo, and I do think tomorrow is a solo show. So, with that being said, we're going to go to another song by Gracie Abrams, and it's called I Miss You and I'm Sorry. And it's a nice little song that I never really had heard of until a couple of years ago. And then, it caught my ear, and it's so heartfelt. I'd never heard of Gracie Abrams before, and I hope you guys and girls enjoy the song because it did pull at the heartstrings just a little bit.
Do you remember happy together? I do. Don't you? Then all of a sudden you're sick to your stomach. Is that still true? You said forever, in the end I fought it. Please be honest, are we better for it? Thought you'd hate me, but instead you called and said I miss you. I caught it. it to each other, give it to summer. I knew you too, but I only saw you once in December. I'm still confused. You said forever and I almost bought it. I miss fighting in your old apartment, breaking dishes when you're disappointed. I still love you, I promise. Nothing happened in the way I wanted. Every corner of this house is haunted, and I know you said that we're not talking, but I miss you. I'm sorry. I don't wanna go, think I'll make it worse. Everything I know brings me back to us. I don't wanna go, we've been here before. Everywhere I go leads me back to you. I don't wanna go, think I'll make it worse. Everything I know brings me back to us. I don't wanna go, we've been here before. Everywhere I go leads me back to you. I don't wanna go, think I'll make it worse. Everything I know brings me back to us. I don't wanna go, we've been here before. Everywhere I go leads me back to you. I don't wanna go, think I'll make it worse. Everything I know brings me back to us. I don't wanna go, we've been here before. Everywhere I go leads me back to you.
And that was Gracie Abrams with I Miss You, I'm Sorry on this 11/28 Friday, September 15th on 92.5 WLSD, The Vault. I'm getting some messages in, some things that people are saying check out, not checking out, and I would definitely do that. Now, something we didn't get in, I guess last week, and I really wanted someone to bounce some ideas off of, and it was just my my own incompetence last week, so I do apologize to the audience and Anthony Wayne. But there had been several celebrity deaths that's occurred over the last little bit. We've had Paul Rubens, we had Bob Barker, we had Jimmy Buffett, and those are just within the last, 6-7 weeks, something like that. And it's always, I guess, been said that it's the threes that always happens. But who's the next one? You don't really know, and maybe that's the little bit of the that is the sad part, I guess, that you don't know. That's a lot of depressing things on this show. I need to call it the other people are depressed now. But it's not always going to be that way. It takes some time to work through some things. But yeah, I guess out of the three, one thing about Bob Barker, he was 99 years old. And I feel like when someone has lived that long, that they have lived a full life. You know what I mean? So I can't be as sad if it's, someone that old as opposed to someone that's younger, started off their life, that's not been around that long and things like that. Now, I do think Drew Carey, although he seems like a nice enough guy, but I've never really thought of Drew Carey as the host of The Price is Right. It's just never seemed feasible to me. He did the Drew Carey show back in the 90s, and he pretty much segued to The Price is Right as soon as Bob Barker retired. Now, interesting tidbit, I did run the Marine Corps Marathon. Let's see here. I did run the Marine Corps Marathon back in 2010, and Drew Carey led with the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer and stuff before all the runners ran. So that was kind of cool. That was probably, I don't know what I would say, 30,000, maybe 10,000, maybe 10,000. I don't know. I think 10,000. I finished in the middle, in the 4,000 range. it was one of the most challenging things physically that I had done, and that was probably the best shape that I had been in my life. I had worked on we had done this Insanity with Sean T, and those DVDs that we did, that was difficult. It was really difficult. And then we would do, often we would do, 30, 40, 50 miles per week. And sometimes we never did actually get up to what the actual marathon was, which was like 28.2 or something like that. The kind of the unfortunate part is my friend Michael, who's now married to Talitha, that we talked about with Punch Drunk Love. So he'd ask me, "Hey, you want to train for this?" So we train. We started training in February. Marathon is in, it is on Halloween. Is actually when it is. So the night before, from what I gather, what I can remember is that he gets up and then he steps on Mara, which was his dog at the time, like one of her chew toy bones, and somehow hurts his ankle or leg, not his leg, but his ankle, and he is unable to run. So I had, this whole time I'd practiced, 9 months running with my friend, and then here it is, marathon day, and then, I'm running alone. Not only that, but it was a very weird time. We had just filmed. I'd only confirmed maybe a week prior to that Andy Dick, comedian Andy Dick, was going to be in Virginia running, and we had to coordinate everything in just a few days. So actually in 2.5, 3 days. So I drove down from DC. I was living there, doing the show up there. Drove down. We filmed everything with him. Got him, up and ready to go. My Terry and I at the time, when her and I were going out, we were bickering and going at each other's throat for one reason or another. Probably at that point in time, probably because I will admit and take responsibility when I've done wrong, but I would say a lot of it where it was mainly over her smoking cigarettes. Now looking back, a majority of the fights that we had were over her smoking cigarettes, because I always thought that she just smoked cigarettes because she knew I didn't like it. Because she was able to stop and start, it seemed, at will. So if I'm asking you, please, 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 I will buy that. She used to get this large Starbucks drink. And I was like, I will buy the drink, just don't smoke. That's always been a little bit of a pet peeve. But yet, I've always been attracted to people that smoke. So isn't that a weird conundrum? Isn't that ironic? I don't know what it is, but it's the truth. But back to the marathon. So I ended up running alone, and it with no music. But all that kind of stuff was going on behind the scenes, filming the Andy Dick thing, driving to and from. Even Michael, Talitha, myself, and Terry, on the way to sign up and register and get my number for the marathon, we were arguing. And then I even remember Michael one time, like, yelling, like he was driving, and Michael was, kind of like an Anthony Wayne type, very calm, very serene, chill, and that, Michael was kind of like that too. But Michael did yell because he'd had enough of the bickering, the bickering, and I can't blame him, because I had enough of the bickering too. So, so let's see what we're going to do. I think I know what we're going to do. I think we're going to go to I think we're going to play a little bit of a Chris Isaak song. Now, I've always been a fan of Chris Isaak since Heart-Shaped World came out in 1989. It had the hit song Wicked Game, and the original version of Wicked Game was for a David Lynch movie. I mean, the song was for a David Lynch movie called Wild at Heart, which is a Nicolas Cage, Laura Dern movie. So David Lynch actually shot the first video, and you can still find it on YouTube, and it got some play and things like that. And then they made another video, I think with Herb Ritz, if I'm correct, and Helena Christensen, the black and white video that everyone knows. So that's kind of how, Chris Isaac came onto the mainstream. But obviously, I really do like the song "Wicked Game." It's a great song. It's a very enjoyable song. But that's not the song I'm going to play tonight. Not at all. I'm going to play a song from his album Forever. What is the album called? I think the album is called Forever Blue. It was one of my go-to. To be honest with you, I bought the cassette tape at the old Walmart where Rural King is. The cassette tape, if people out there listening know what it is, it's this little cassette with a little reel inside of it with a little tape, and it had music on it. So I purchased this, and then when DVDs, not DVDs, but CDs and stuff, and digital, obviously I have it on all those. But this is a gem called "Go Walking Down There" on 92.5 WLSD, The Vault.
Searching down there, there's nothing left from you and me. I go walking down there, I go searching down there, and nobody there remembers me. It doesn't matter now to me, since I lost my baby. Nothing means that much to me without my baby. Go searching down here, there's nothing left from you and me. Doesn't matter now to me, since I lost my baby. Nothing means that much to me without my baby anyway.
And that was Chris Isaac Go Walking Down There on 92.5 WLSD The Vault, also on 1220 AM. And we're online streaming. We're on Facebook. We're on it. We're everywhere. So please go and check out the station. Other shows they have some really great shows. So please check out the sister station, WAXM, also. So that's a little Chris Isaac. Now, Carlos had mentioned, and this was a great one, that we're going to play next. So please keep those coming as well. And if they fit into the theme of the show tonight, I would definitely give those a play because there's a little bit of a theme, as you can tell. So, out of the celebrity deaths we mentioned, I didn't even get around to what I was even telling about. I got sidetracked with Bob Barker and, Drew Carey, to be honest with you. But I really got into that to tell you that, Bob Barker had lived his life. He was 99. He did, pretty much all that he could do. So, I do feel bad for his friends and family, but, I'd say a lot of his original friends and family are no longer with us as well. Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett was a beloved treasure. Jimmy Buffett also makes a little appearance in Jurassic World, and he grabs his glass full of margarita before the dinosaurs take over. But I think he later gets eaten. I'm not sure. I can't recall. Somebody please let me know. I've only seen that twice, and it's been a while. I can't remember if Jimmy Buffett makes it out, or if he does get eaten. And he had a lot of food related, um, a lot of food related songs and things like that. So I know some people were a big fan of Jimmy Buffett. Some people weren't a big fan of Jimmy Buffett. I'd went out with a girl. I'd only went out with her a couple times, and we had went to his restaurant. Cheeseburgers in Paradise was the one that we went to. There was also one Margaritaville, and I thought it would be nice to, you know, get some Jimmy Buffett tickets because that's all she talked about the entire time. And it wasn't. I mean, I love the place. I like the guy, but the entire time we were there, that's all she did was just talk about Jimmy Buffett, drink the cheeseburger in paradise drink, which is a fantastic margarita. I can't deny that. But yeah, that she kind of not she didn't turn me against Jimmy Buffett, not at all. But I'd had enough of Jimmy Buffett for a while, and then my friend Shelly and I used to listen to Jimmy Buffett radio on Sirius. He might still have his own channel, so that was on quite a bit in the summertime, and probably still they have it up. So Jimmy Buffett. But I guess out of the three that I had mentioned, Bob Barker, Jimmy Buffett, or Paul Rubens, I guess Paul Rubens had the most impact on my life, just to and probably your all's lives too, because he there wasn't a time that I can really remember when Pee Wee Herman wasn't around, and you can go back now and you can watch the origins of how the character started. You can see like his many David Letterman appearances, and he kind of had a little bit of a gimmick as a prop I don't even want to use the word comic because it was more of a performance thing, but he often would bring some toys or some wacky things on there, and he continued to do that later on. So that one, plus he also had a great role in the movie of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He plays the Lothos is the main villain, and he plays the sidekick of Lothos, which has wow, the movie has Christy Swanson, Luke Perry, Donald Sutherland, Rutger Hauer, and Paul Rubens. So that's the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, not the TV show. And I don't think a lot of people have seen that movie. I happened to see that movie, no joke. I saw that movie 4 different times at the Norton Cinema. It played, we had number 1, number 2, number 1 the small one, number 2 the larger auditorium. And it played in number 1, and there was at least twice that I watched it when I was the only one in there. And then my friend Josh and I watched it together, and I think a couple of friends other than that went and watched it again. But yeah, that was always a fun time, is just watching that silly little movie. But speaking of things that aren't silly and things that are fitting in line with the format of the song choices tonight, Carlos did mention this song, Imogen Heap, Hide and Seek, which is also featured in a Zach Braff movie, his follow movie after Garden State, which he was only acting in this movie and doing the musical score. It's called The Last First Kiss, and that's when I first came to hear about it. But this is a song that is at your heartstrings. Imogen Heap.
Heroine. What the hell is going on? The dust has only just begun to fall. sinking feeling. Spin me round again and rub my eyes. This can't be happening when busy streets a mess with people would stop to hold their heads heavy. Hide and seek. Trains and sewing machines. All those years, they were here first. Oily marks appear on walls where pleasure moments hung before the takeover, the sweeping insensitivity of this still life. Hide and seek. Trains and sewing machines, catch me around here. They were here first. What you say? That you only meant well, well, 'cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, 'cause it is. What you say? That it's just what we need. You decided this. What you say? What did she say? Rinse and notes keep falling out your mouth. Mid-sweet talk news, people are caught. Speak no, feeling no. I don't believe you. You don't care a bit. You don't care a bit. Rinse and notes keep falling out your mouth. Mid-sweet talk news, people are caught. Speak no, feeling no. You don't care a bit. You don't care. You don't care. You don't care a bit. 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 You don't care a bit.
And that was Imogen Heap, Hide and Seek, and that was suggested by Carlos. Thank you, Carlos, for that suggestion. I hadn't really heard of that in quite some time, and it did make me tear up. Just it did make me tear up just a little bit. You know what I mean? But the show must go on. So hey, Seth, how's it going? But yeah, that was a great song and a great suggestion. So we've only got a few minutes left into the show, and I want to try to continue to. It's weird on the mixing board in the wall. The wall's clock is 1 minute and 30 seconds different. And if you know anything about radio, timing is everything. That's why there's no comic timing when I'm here alone, because it's hard to do comedic things when you're in here by yourself. But sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. So let's see here. I've got a few things. Let's see. Read the mail. Talked about food. Now, I do have a personal poem, but I did want to. I think I'll wait and do that next week because I do want to have some more segments coming in, and that is a personal poem. And then please, if you want to email us a letter or anything, you can do that at virginiarunning@gmail. You can also do that at any of our social media pages as well. So I was wondering, I do have, I know High Pockets, I think, gave out some tickets the other day to Lamb of God, and I knew quite a few people that went to the show. But it's really funny because I had actually been looking to, there was a couple bands that I'd wanted to go to, and one that I missed, Lana Del Rey. She was in Nashville, I think yesterday. I saw my timeline. Someone someone was going there. So if I'd have known that, I would have went to see Lana Del Rey yesterday. But there's a couple that I wanted to see again. Dashboard Confessional, which I missed the east part of their tour. Dido, she's not playing here in America right now. Say Anything, and then the Wallflowers, because I'd seen the Wallflowers with my friend Kim about I think it was like 2014 or so. What was odd about that is when I went back and looked, it was at the Orange Pill in Asheville, and I have the marquee sign, and then it has all the different bands up there. So the Wallflowers is playing up there, but one of the bands also is Lamb of God. So I found that kind of a weird thing that just 10 years later, it's this weird kind of little bit of a connection there as well. So that's going on next month. I'm going to see if I can. I got to meet Jacob Dylan last time. It was brief, and we Kim took the picture. We went around after the crowd had went left and dispersed, and then I went in the back and I was like, "Hey, there he is." I said, we get the phone ready, walk up to him. He, hey man, really enjoyed the show. Sounded great. Thanks for coming over. Do you mind if I get a picture? He said, yeah, sure. Which way? Then we looked over at Kim. She cut on the headlight, took the picture. Appreciate it, man. Have a safe trip. See you next time. And then left. That's how you do it. A quick in and out. Now, had we been at a place where I would, other people weren't around, we could probably had a chat and something like that. But I just wanted to tell him I appreciate your band being here. Great show. You sounded just like you do on the records. And, can I get a quick picture? That used to be the big thing. So that was a cool thing, and that'll be a cool thing if it can happen again. So, we... I've got Seth on there. Hey, Seth, thanks for tuning in. We got messages from Carlos coming in. Several people. So I do appreciate Kayla. Thank you for that. April, appreciate your messaging. Destiny, thank you for your messages. And thanks everyone for tuning in and stuff. Now next week we do have Tyler Payne. He will be in Friday, September 22nd for the Other People portion of the show. He's got a screening of his movie Silico Solutions coming out. I don't want to say coming out, but screening the following Friday. So he's going to be live in studio next week, and then that's going to be a fun thing the following week as well. So I'm going to try to play another song tonight. We'll come back after that, but this is a song. I really don't know which one to play. I really. It's very tough, but I guess we'll go with this one. Hopefully it's not true, but no, all these songs, and I'm not saying that these songs, each and every one of these songs is a significant part of, introspective insight into the relationship and things like that. But there's a little bit of a theme tonight. And, I think you all have easily caught on, and just kind of a fun thing that I wanted to do.
must have been love, but it's over now. It must have been good, but I lost it somehow. It must have been love, but it's over now. From the moment we touched till the time had run out. Make believing we're together, that I'm sheltered by your heart. But in and outside, I turn to water like a teardrop in your palm. And it's a hard winter's day, I dream away. It must have been love, but it's over now. It was all that I wanted, now I'm living without. It must have been love, but it's over now. It's where the water flows. It's where the wind blows. It must have been love, but it's over now. It must have been good, but I lost it somehow. It must have been love, but it's over now. From the moment we touched till the time had run out. Yeah, it must have been love, but it's over now. It was all that I wanted, now I'm living without. It must have been love, but it's over now. It's where the water flows. It's where the wind blows.
And that's Roxette with It Must Have Been Love from the Pretty in Pink soundtrack, starring Julia Roberts and Richard Gere. Now, I don't know if this would be appropriate nowadays or not, but I do remember that being, I was 10 years old, 10 years old when I saw that in the movie theater. And I saw it in the Kingsport Mall theater. So I've fond memories, and I've seen that a couple of times, and I've always enjoyed it. It's the classic hooker with a heart of gold, is pretty much what it is if you think about it. So let's see here what we got. We have the Other People's Show wrapping up tonight. Thank you for joining me. It's actually helped me because, in all honesty, I didn't have anything else to do. When I've told you all the earlier shows, if I'm not doing the show, I don't have anything else to do. It's a sad existence, I know. I cried in between the break listening to Roxette. True story as well. But anyway, if you want to go check out all of the social media pages, the TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Instagram, you can please do that. And just type in The Other People's Show. Wednesday, I will be back with The Dark Place, a brand new episode. Took last week off so we could pre-record Punch Drunk Love. Anthony is out on a gig right now, and he's heading out next week, I think, for North Carolina. So we wish him well and look forward to that. And then we have Broken Sound tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. down at Black Bear Barbecue. I'm Adam from The Other People on 92.5 WLSD, The Vault.